Welcome to the Third Podcast, Season 1, Episode 13, which 13 is my favorite number. So I think we're going to start it off by talking about a positive thing in the black community that's going on, but a lot of people perceive it to be negative, which is Ice Cube. So I'm going to let you start. Ladies first.
Okay. I honestly do not see anything wrong with what Ice Cube is doing.
No.
Because I think, the first step to a person's life is to either take care of themselves, watch out for themselves, or take care or watch out for their family, right?
Right.
Now, Ice Cube is well established at any point because he is
financially in his
career and everything. So honestly, he ain't got to do shit for black people because he is where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people want our opinion to come out of his mouth. But here's the thing: is your opinion even semi-correct? Because I'm seeing a whole bunch of people say Ice Cube is a sellout.
Right.
But I'm also seeing a whole bunch of people praise him.
Right.
But I cannot get with the fact that people will be so quick to feel like he is a sellout when he's doing something. I feel like people will be so quick to say or criticize somebody for some shit either they wanted to do or they feel like somebody ain't doing the shit how they would do it. Like, what gives you the authority to feel like somebody not doing something right when you ain't even doing it in the first place?
But here's what I see. Ice Cube doing something that politicians, governors, mayors, congressmen, and or women, none of these people, and presidents, none of these people actually made the effort that he's making at this point right now. And for the negative comments that I seen, like, how could you call this man a sellout? Because he made a song back in the day and made plenty of songs about fuck the police or, he don't give a fuck about the police. Him selling out to me would be him becoming a police. I mean, it's just that simple. Everything else is just bullshit and made up. Mm-hmm. That man ain't selling out. He actually showing his concern for me personally as a black man. Because he has a voice, and when he speak, he will be heard. Mm-hmm. I have a voice, but when I speak, nobody listen to me. Mm-mm. So what he doing is a positive thing. Now, I can understand if a lot of people feel like it's a misrepresentation, but guess what? That's why he said anybody that have anything they want to add or remove or discuss about the contract that he created with other black people, please contact me. Okay. Please be involved with me. Right. How are you gonna sit at home for the comfort of your home behind your phone, computer, TV, I don't care what it is, your PlayStation, your Xbox, whatever form of communication that you use, how you gonna sit at home comfortably? Don't participate in what his movement or what he trying to do for the embetterment of black people, but then get on his Facebook and his Instagram and stuff and start criticizing him. Like, what did you do? If you disagree with him, why are you harassing him? Why is it that you don't come up with a better solution?
Right.
That's how I feel.
I do too. Like, I don't know. I think black people love criticizing and holding other black people to these weird ass, high ass standards. And I'm not saying you should. I feel like you really shouldn't be speaking on shit that you're not willing to do yourself. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. you know, a lot of people call me with shit, and a lot of times I just fucking listen. But if it's not something that I can see myself fucking doing, if I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't relate to it. Why would I speak on this shit? Why would it matter if I have something that's literally fucking gossiping?
Right.
And also, I think people do not realize that you have to research. Because when you don't do that, you have people leading you to the wrong paths. But get mad at this person for leading you on the wrong path, but you didn't even find out the information to know where this path could possibly lead.
That's just like I was explaining to a family member about what Joe Biden represents. What did he create? What was he involved in?
Yeah.
Wasn't good for black people. He was involved in the crime bill, one of the original creators, and the stop holding frisk. Black people don't like to be stop holding frisk or for the police to use that on them, but you will go vote for somebody who pushed the agenda in that direction.
Right.
And then say, oh, well, you know, he really gonna look out for black people. No, he's not. He don't intend to. So it's crazy because the research will be out there. That's why I use that example.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody that's listening can go back and look up the stop holding frisk.
Right.
They can go back and look up the crime bill and see. Matter of fact, they've been showing the campaign ads of Biden saying how he was intimidated by black people when they initiated the crime bill.
Exactly.
But here we are, another election, a bunch of celebrities, vote for the Democrats, vote. And it's like, I don't have a dog in either race.
Mm-hmm.
Because Democrats or Republicans don't have an agenda for black people.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I even give them my vote when it doesn't matter? And I think that's the biggest misconception of voting, because they say, oh, your vote count. It's very important. No, it doesn't, because I don't live in the same realm that a lot of these people live in upper America.
Yeah.
Or middle class America. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, honestly, okay, so I have been keeping up with the Ice Cube situation. And to me, in my mind, and you know I'm very understanding when it comes to just everybody's shit, I feel like what Ice Cube is saying is stuff that we have been teaching ourselves for many of years, but towards the other shit. He said, to me, that stuck out was, why would we vote if we're not getting anything?
Exactly.
Most black women you hear ain't gonna fuck with no man that ain't got no motherfucking money.
Right? The get the bag culture.
Most men not gonna fuck with no woman that can't cook. They can't have kids, but you will be in an agreement with that, but you won't be in an agreement with, I'm a vote because they said I need to vote. First of all, who the fuck is they?
Right.
Second of all,
that's a well-known thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but every time you ask a black person about voting, that's exactly what they say. Where they said I need to vote. Who is they? Celebrities?
Yeah. Yes, because when you think about the celebrity standpoint, no matter who the fuck it is, because a politician at this point is a celebrity shit show. I feel like when you look at celebrities, quote unquote, you look at somebody in a higher standpoint than you. You look at it to where somebody is in a better situation than you, which basically you belittling yourself. Because you won't tell yourself to do something else other than what's not fucking working for you your whole life. What haven't worked for your parents, what haven't worked for your grandparents, but you still digging on that poison of hope. They telling you it's medicine, but it's not making you better. It's making you worse. Or it's at a stagnant point. It just stands still.
But here's where I'm at with it. You know, when they trying to do this cancel culture thing. How you gonna cancel? First of all, how you gonna allow another person from another group or race to tell you to cancel your people? How? I mean, how is that even possible? Why would that even be something that goes through your mind for you to decide, yeah, he right? I mean, I'm not saying that everybody is at agreement with what's going on with what Ice Cube doing, but if you disagree, instead of you trying to counsel him, why don't you come up with a better proposal? What's wrong with that?
Everything is wrong with that. Black people do not necessarily. You have a lot of black people, or okay, you have some black people that will do shit without permission from somebody else. But a lot of us need permission. That's why when we start thinking of shit to do, we call other people that we feel has this, we got a way in their life. So you call this other person and be like, well, I'm thinking about doing such and such and such. And depending on how you hold this person, what they say and their reaction, either you do that shit or not.
What I don't want to happen is Ice Cube just be like, you know what?
Fuck y'all.
Fuck this. Fuck y'all. Fuck everything. Because he can live comfortable within the confinement of his own home with his own established money and career and not give a fuck about nobody.
Yeah. And see, Dr. Africa said it best. You can't teach everybody. You can't, basically what he said was, you can't hold the conversation with niggas. And it's a difference, because I feel like with our community, which is the black community, we do not like to listen. We do not like to compromise, and we don't like to have understanding. And I feel like that's a whole responsibility when it comes to being understanding. It should not be at a standpoint where somebody that's not your race asks you, okay, what's wrong? Tell me what I can do to fix it. Look at the fucking history. You can start any fucking where. But you want me to tell you single-handedly, first of all black people don't even know what the fuck they want.
True.
So how can we tell you this is what we want?
But my thing is, if we're not on one accord, why is it hard for you to tell if you disagree with Ice Cube on something about the contract? Because I'm pretty sure 90% of the people that said they're going to counsel Ice Cube didn't even read the contract. So if you're in disagreement, why not tell him why you disagree? Why not look up the information that he's sharing and say, this is what you agree with? Why immediately be negative and say, oh, cancel culture, we cancel Ice Cube, we don't want to hear him, we don't want to see him? That's bullshit.
People be so quick to be like, I want change. But are you willing to do whatever it takes to get this change? Nobody is ever willing to do that, especially when it requires them to change their self. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people call me and order from me and be like, I want to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, are you willing to give up the stuff that made you gain weight? Well, no. Well, you don't want to do that shit. I ain't telling you got to exercise 5 hours a day. I'm telling you just need to eat. You change your eating habits. They don't want to do that shit, but the meat is so yummy.
Right. I need my steaks and my lobsters and shrimp.
Yeah. And then you give them
my ribs.
You give them the facts that say, oh, well, see, this is why you can't get your mind right. This is why you have the itis. This is why, you know what I'm saying?
Then they mad at you.
So I wouldn't even get mad. It's done been a lot of people that put themselves in the forefront, and then, you know, they got nowhere because it was so, it's more black people that be like, nah, you wrong, or you a sellout. And they be like, fuck it. I can't help y'all. I can't do shit for y'all.
But this my issue. Y'all so quick to cancel Ice Cube, but I don't see nobody saying cancel Candace Owens. Now, if you feel like he wrong for what he doing, so is she. because she has her own agenda on how black people should be or supposed to be. And she pushing her agenda in front of the Democrats and Republicans and all of this, but ain't nobody saying nothing about that. So why is it that she is allowed to roam freely with whatever she want to, but the first time that you disagree with Ice Cube is cancel culture? Oh, let's get rid of him. How you gonna get rid of a person that's trying to do for his own people? But y'all won't change though. But you think Donald Trump gonna give you change? No. You think Biden gonna give you change? No. You think Kamala Harris or Kamala, however you pronounce it, no disrespect to her name, but you think she gonna give you change? No, she's not even a black woman. Which she already said she is, what was it, Northern Indian?
Yeah.
She said this on the Mindy Project show, or the Mindy Project Girl show. She said, all of my family look exactly like you because I'm North Indian.
Yeah.
She said, it's a little known secret amongst Indian people. When we see each other, we whisper, say, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? And she laughed and she said, right, I am. But see, in order to gain votes and traction in votes, she talking about she resonate with black people because she is a black woman. But that's not on her driver's license, I bet you.
The debate, it introduced her as the first Asian
black
African
woman. Yeah,
Asian
African American.
It's like, this bitch is a bitch of many titles. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I you know what? And a lot of shit don't bother me when it comes to this political shit. Only the dumbness of people that's willing to not realize that they not stupid. Like, you can't get mad at me for telling you, okay, you do know these motherfuckers do not give a fuck about you, but that should be expected from anybody outside of your house. You got to consider that shit when it comes to anybody in your family, because I guarantee you it'll be somebody willing to step on your face to get a step up. You know what I'm saying? But that's when we have to come together as people to where it ain't even got to fucking be like that. This football player the other day did like an interview, and he was saying, his biggest problem coming into new money when he first signed to the NFL and stuff like that was that he started buying property, and he wanted to look out for his family. So he was telling them, I'm gonna buy this property, and instead of you renting from other people, you pay me rent. And he said the problem lied at that point when he was like, I'm going to be your landlord. You have to pay me. That's when the bullshit started.
Right.
And it's like,
why I gotta pay you when you my family?
When you my fucking family, but why wouldn't I pay? Wouldn't
I pay you for the living expenses of living on your property?
Yes.
And I get that, because they feel like just because he family, they shouldn't have to pay him nothing.
But when you think about it, that's literally taking advantage of
the situation. Yes.
And it's like we was having a conversation the other day, about our daughter, and I was like, the people that's closer to you, you be quick to do them dirty and do them wrong just because they're there. You feel like they have to take this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's in the black community whole fucking heartedly. You my mama, so you gotta take care of me, no matter what the fuck I do. And that's wrong, because the opposite person wouldn't want that shit to be on them.
That's true. Like I said, my thing is, I'm just disappointed because every time it seems like we get some traction or somebody trying to prove that they trying to help us in our embetterment of lifestyle and financial gain and everything, we take that and turn it into something negative. But hold on, this is what I want to say. Everybody hollering about voting and change. Didn't y'all say that the last two elections with Obama?
This my biggest question. How are you suspicious of Ice Cube but you ain't suspicious of Biden nor Kamala, whatever her name is. You don't have that suspicion.
No, they don't.
And why?
Even though you can sit right there, you can sit down with anybody and have a conversation about all the stuff we talked about with Biden and Harris, and they're gonna pretend like what you said don't even exist. They're gonna pretend like they didn't hear anything you said and say, "Well, I support them," but you can't even tell me why. The biggest thing is it's the sheep mentality. I support them because everybody else supporting them. So now your vote ain't even your vote. Your vote go with the majority votes of what everybody else doing. So you not even voting because you feel like you said in the beginning about change. You voted because everybody else voted.
Yeah.
So it really ain't about change, but that's what you convinced yourself to believe.
Yeah, but how much bullshit do we convince ourselves about? Like, how could you, you know this how I feel. If you know the history of something, you should be able to adapt how to move forward. That's as well as the same talk we have with our kids. If a thief is a thief, you don't let them in your fucking house.
Because you know they're a thief.
Because you know they're a thief. If a liar is a liar,
you don't believe
nothing they say. And if a murderer is a murderer, you shoot first and you don't ask no fucking questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to have that conversation because most black people are liars. Most black people are thieves. If it's beneficial enough. And it's not fair because y'all sitting up here holding Ice Cube to these high-ass standards. What is he going to do? What is he going to do that y'all will allow him to do in your life? He made a post on Twitter the other day, which I'm not shocked they haven't shut his Twitter down. I'm surprised that they haven't shut his Twitter down. He made a post the other day and said, if y'all don't believe anything I say, do your own research.
Exactly.
Do your own fucking research. Do you know how easy it is to do that?
You literally got a computer in your hand as a cell phone.
But you wouldn't. But you know what kind of motherfucking potato you are. You know what kind of motherfucking...
You know the new
angel.
iPhone. You know what the new iPhone do?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know when the PS5 coming out and its capabilities?
Yeah.
But you don't know how to search somebody's history.
Yeah. Remember, was it last night we was talking? I said, the one thing I don't recall seeing anymore is that knowledge is power. You used to see that shit everywhere.
Right.
You don't see that shit no more because knowledge ain't power no more. Fear is.
Okay.
And with fear being power, who the one? Y'all, it's not you that's gaining the power. It's the motherfuckers you fear.
Exactly.
That's gaining the power. And it's just like, you do realize that this is a problem. This is a problem.
But see, they use the police department to constantly keep black people in fear when it comes to what if.
Mm-hmm.
What if they pull me over?
Mm-hmm.
What if they draw down on me?
Mm-hmm.
What if they plant drugs on me?
Mm-hmm.
What if they kidnap my kids or do something to me? It's always what if. The police right now has so much fear in the black community. A lot of black people scared when they see them. They turn the opposite direction.
Man, what?
And driving. You be like, oh, there go the police. Let me bend this corner. Because they got weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
But see, people ain't ready for that talk.
Yeah.
They say, oh, the police. I get it. I understand police brutality. I understand the corruption in the police system. But know who controlling them. The same people that you running and voting for and wishing that they do you right, it's the same people controlling the police. Think about this. People keep talking about some, well, Donald Trump support the police department. So do the Democrats.
Mm-hmm. Because guess what? Motherfucker break in their house, they gonna call the goddamn police. But here's the thing. People support the police as long as it's beneficial.
Exactly.
We had somebody tow up our cars a couple years back. What the fuck did we do? We called the police.
Had to.
Somebody break in your house. What the fuck?
Because that little girl almost died.
Yeah.
So when
his family was looking at us like, why the fuck y'all call the police?
Because that little girl almost died. She was stuck under a truck.
They didn't give a fuck.
I wasn't gonna let her die.
No, I know that. I live in the house with you. I understand that standpoint, but they did not. They did not because.
So think about, and this what, like I told dude brother. If I didn't call the police and that little girl died, don't you think her family would have tried to hold me responsible? Mm-hmm. Because even though they ran into my truck and ran under it,
yeah,
that it happened on my property,
yeah,
and it happened to my vehicles. And I was out there when it happened, and I let their child die.
Yeah. Black people love them. This happened in your front yard. You ain't seen nothing, motherfucker.
Then he was like, well, I'm glad she okay, and da-da-da-da-da, but it didn't matter to him.
No.
And also, like I told him, I had to call the police anyway if I didn't want to, because I had to make a police report when I filed my claim. I have to give that to the insurance company just to get my vehicle somewhat fixed or somewhat money back. But in his mind, I guess he felt like that made me a snitch. But how could I be snitching? I'm not. Nobody went to jail. With your brother should have went to fucking jail for hitting my cars and fleeing the scene.
You're fleeing like a motherfucking.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said, but I have to file a claim. I have insurance, so I have to file a claim.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take a claim. Anybody out here with a vehicle know they ever been in an accident? No. If you don't have insurance, you can't file no claim.
But see, that go back to my conversation the other day on our podcast that we don't hold our family members and shit with the same accountability we would hold somebody else's family members. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And it's messed up because it's like, y'all motherfuckers just... And then you hate to just be like, you just stupid. But it is. Some people just stupid. I was stupid upon my time. Even have my days of stupidness. But I think once we get to a point where something is confusing or we don't understand it, I think we should force ourselves into understanding. I think we should force it. If somebody tell me I did something to them, like we had a conversation last night, and you was telling me something that I didn't necessarily agree with because it was pointing at me, right? So literally I had to force myself into seeing, okay, he got to be feeling this way for some reason. So now I have to reflect on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that people should do in general. If somebody tell you some shit and the shit don't look better in a year or two, why would we vote for them to do the same shit, which
over
is
and over.
nothing,
right,
again?
But see, that was my issue with the Barack Obama thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first of all, y'all know a motherfucker in the hood named Barack. Let's get this situated right now. Second of all, I don't have nothing personally against him. My stance is what a lot of people can't separate, which is political. In his political career, he done nothing for the embetterment of black people. But in their mind, because he's saying he resonate with black people, they like, oh, he black, he gonna look out for us. He never said it, so you can't be mad at him.
You assumed
he was gonna do it, and he never done it. And then he started doing a lot of things for the Latino and the gay community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know really how to put it, but the gay community.
Mm-hmm.
So once he started passing all these bills and laws for them, all the black people was like, well, what about us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's too late now. He finna be out of there. He's not gonna do nothing. And if he didn't do nothing then, he ain't gonna do nothing on his way out.
You know what? What you saying that? I feel like black people is so hung up on one day I have my chance. But see, that extends to a whole bunch of other shit. One day somebody gonna treat me right. And then it bleeds into that hope and if. Like, I hate the words hope, if, and can't.
Well, you hear a lot of these politicians saying hope, but they'll give you false hope just to get your vote and to get your support. And then when it comes time to supposedly cash in, and you're like, you said you was gonna do this. He said, no, I said I hope to do this.
Yeah. That's
So
just like,
so after that's explained, then you crush.
Yeah.
You crush. You feel dumb, but he told you in the beginning he hoped.
yeah. But see, that's where that shit need to be cut out, because like I explained to you, when you first develop relationships, I don't give a damn what kind of relationship it is. You do not bring your ugly traits. You bring that good shit. You need help? I'll do it knowing good and well you don't want to. You just doing it to get show this person you a good person. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring forth that ugly shit. That's what these politics do. They go around here, they go to places that they normally, or politicians do. They go to these neighborhoods, they hold these babies. They're like motherfucking babies. Right. I don't need like goddamn babies.
Now when I seen the newscasting of Joe Biden standing there with somebody black kids, I'm like, now, why is they mammies there?
Over there.
Because why is this man doing a photo op with your fucking children? Pretending like he cares for black people. Because if he truly did, he would sit down with you as a parent, not want to do a photo op with your child.
Man, that shit.
Because when he did that, sit down with them white women, they were sitting there with their children and talking to him and conversating about healthcare and all of these other topics. But when he went to the black community, he did a photo op and fucking left. You can see right there that he doesn't have your situation or what you believe in or understand or want him to do in his favor. He's not gonna do it.
Yeah. I think all in all, I think people need to quit letting people hold they fucking fate. You know what I'm saying? Put in the work that you need to do for yourself. If you know good and goddamn well you done committed crimes, or you done, you know what I'm saying, had your run in with the justice system, what can you do to undo that shit? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you know you want to acquire property, what do you do to do that shit? You have to learn they shit. I can't remember who said it, but the shit out here in books. The shit out here, I'm so surprised that people act like they can't find shit out. But they literally know what's going on all day long, or the next episode of Love and Hip Hop and the haves and have-nots and all this, and they so intertwined with it that they don't realize they could be doing some other shit. Like, you literally, that is just such a big statement. We could be doing some other shit right now.
You know what that's what I was thinking. You know, this year, let's just say this year, since all this shit been happening, everybody been hollering, you know, we need to support black-owned businesses and support our own business. And I agree with that, but we should have been like that before. It shouldn't have just started now. But the problem with this is you can say this all day, but there is no support for black businesses. From ourselves. I'm not talking about any other group besides black people. We'll say support black businesses and won't support them. Then you'll tell a person, yes, we are a black business. We are our own entity. We are our own conglomerate. We have multiple businesses. They'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to get with you, and then go order from Amazon. And then this will be the same person that'll post a post on their social media, telling us we need to support black businesses. And I look at their post and I'm like, you the main one that don't do it. So why would you even share the post? If you truly believe in that, I don't care if you don't support me, but you don't support other black businesses. You're not doing what you're saying doing. You're doing what's popular right now. So now you got everybody creating businesses and saying support business when they don't even want to support other people black businesses. Like, how does that even make sense? You creating a business and then telling people come and support my black owned businesses. And I'm like, I'm like, sure, let's link up. You support my page and I support your page. I don't get no like. I don't get no share. But you telling me in a message, share my page. For what? It should be equal when it comes to the support. It shouldn't be me supporting you and everything you doing in your endeavors, and then you not supporting me as a black business owner.
Yes, because I feel like that we walk in a land of so many takers. People, especially in the black community, always want something from nothing. And especially, we ran into this stuff so many times. And I remember my mama had called me. You know, we was friends on Facebook at the time. And I can't remember if she knew the lady or what, but we was selling some stuff. And it was already a good ass deal. You know what I'm saying?
It don't get no better.
It didn't get it couldn't have gotten no better besides. And I have always been like this. I will do it for fucking free before I do it for, like, the sale was 6 for $20. I might as well give it to you for free if you're trying to get it for $15. That's how I feel. That's how I've always felt. Now, the lady was like, oh, I had blocked her on the little thing, on the little sales app we was using or whatever. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I didn't even tell her no, I just blocked her ass. So she found me on Facebook on the thread of me talking to my mama or whatever. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I want to take the deal now. No, bitch, you cannot. You know what I'm saying?
It's not for you.
It wasn't for you because I feel like, why you trying to play me? And that's what it comes to. We come from a place where nothing is reciprocated. Everything is just people just takers. And you do have the ones that are givers. They beat down. All they do is give. But then, as soon as they beat down, as soon as they all dried out, you got the motherfuckers that's taking from them. It's like, oh, so you ain't gonna do shit for me? Or you ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this motherfucker tired. But see, that's where black people need to come to the realization that when it comes to this black business shit.
But like I said, people, when we sell product, you know, we do negotiate depending on what you're trying to buy. Now, if you're trying to buy one single product, ain't no negotiation.
It is what it is.
You know, if I'm making you one T-shirt, it's not a negotiation. You don't go to Walmart and say, I seen this T-shirt on the rack for $15. I got a lab, let me give it to you.
No.
You don't do that shit to Amazon. So why would you do it to me?
Yeah.
But see, it's only my own people because I have done business with white people and with black people. When I give a price, say, you know, when it comes to the T-shirt printing company, I give a price and they, you know, the Caucasians, they say, okay, when can you have it for me? I give them a date. I call them or text them in between, you know, just in case they want to make any little tweaks. Because, you know, a lot of people like to make tweaks. Especially when it comes to my people. My people is the tweak masters.
It's like, can you motherfucking pull a rabbit out of a hat
So,
for $5?
You know, after that, I finish the product, deliver to the Caucasian. They happy with the product. Yes, they are. And I make sure everything is the right size, you know, the correct print, the correct colors, is looking good. Boom, they happy. On the other hand, when it comes to my people, you know, they say, oh, one T-shirt for $20 for front and back? Well, how about I just pay $15 and you do the front? Okay. So here we go with the negotiations. Then we go from, how about I just pay $15 for the front and leave the back off? Then turn around and say, well, how about you just add another image to the front? And I'm like, that'll be too much. You know, one big image, and then you want to add another image amongst that, it'll be too much. It'll become a problem because both of the two prints would be clashing. And I'm not going to do that because I really, take pride in what I do. So, I just don't like to throw stuff out there and see what stick. And here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
It's another negotiation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about since you won't do that for me, you take $5 more off?
Yeah.
So now at this point, you want the shirt for $10. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I haven't even started my print because I've been working on the image because I have to clean these images up. These images that you found from somebody else.
That you didn't want to pay their price.
That you ain't want to pay their price.
You came to me.
You came to me, so now I got to clean the image up to where it'll look good from when I put it on the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Then they turn around and say, well, I don't know if I'm going to get it. At this point, I'm not willing to do business with you no more.
Yeah.
Because if I have already started putting forth the work and you not even willing to pay me, then we got a problem. So why would I finish the job if you're not even willing to pay me? You already done bagged out of the deal.
Yeah.
Then you quit dealing with me. I don't hear from you for 2 or 3 days because you think you're going to go somewhere else and get it done faster, cheaper, better. Then you don't get it done. Then you come back to me quoting the same price that you feel like you left off with. And I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, sure, let's do that. No, at this point, your business not good for my business. And it's not me being disrespectful or it's not me being prideful. Is at some point of a time, our money ain't good money. And I used to hear a lot of people say that back in the day. You don't hear that no more. Because guess what? Now they teach you no matter if the money good or bad, get all the money you can. Because you don't know how long it's going to last.
But I think the relationship with money is so fucked up. Like, I think you in church, you always heard money is the root of all evil, right?
Right.
So people have fucked up relationships with money. Like, everything is a relationship.
And I understand that.
And I think the reason why people are how they are is because they don't value you. They only value themselves. So they'll cheap your ass out. But you have to be like you are. Nah, I ain't doing this shit. Fuck you. You have to be that way. Because once they be able to do that shit once, they'll do that shit again. And again. And again. And act like they don't see that shit.
But then you also have the people that don't even know what you're doing. They just know you doing shirts, but they don't know you doing DTG printing. They don't know that you got a whole printer to print images on the t-shirt. They think you doing the silhouette with the crickets in the silhouette with the what you call it?
The vinyl.
The vinyl paper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I can do that because I got that machine too. So if that's what you want, then it's fine. But if you want an image or something, that silhouette ain't gonna be the way I go.
It's like John Wick. I'm gonna give you an impossible task and shit.
Yeah, and it be my own people that have me going like John Wick. And it's crazy because I'm like, hold on, let me do this. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah. And
what you want it to look like, the coloring. And I promise you, I get it correct on my printer, on my DTG printer. Forget the vinyl, because what you want is a picture. That vinyl is not for picturing. But I say, if you don't understand, it's cool. Go look it up. Go look up what I'm saying.
Oh, that's cursing. You cursing people.
Now, I done told them to go look up the information. Now, they not understanding it because they don't want to go look it up. And they don't do it. And they call me back and be like, man, just go on here to do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not how I want to do business. I want you to be happy with what I'm going to do before I do it. And second of all, my own people had to make me go from COD, which is cash on delivery, for a lot of people that don't know, to a cash up front.
Yeah.
Because I had so many people that'll call me and have me do them an image on the shirt or, some happy birthday, whatever it may be, and then wasn't willing to pay me the full price.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, since my people want to play, let me get an understanding of my people. So from my understanding is you have to pay me first.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't like that. But if you want my services, you seen my work on my webpage, then that's one of my circumstances.
Yeah. But like you said, they don't go in Walmart. They don't barter with Walmart. They don't be like, I think this shirt worth, this much money. Either they get it or they don't fucking get it. But like you said, you have to learn to maneuver around who you deal with, and that's just the truth. Like even with, I don't know, I think the mind frame of people need to be expanded. You can't always do the same shit and expect a different result. You know what I'm saying? And two, that person that you feel like is rude, are you hearing it from rudeness? You get what I'm saying? Like I could say something and it could be the whole truth. But just cause it go in your mind as something being said fucked up towards you, or you taking it personal, you hear it in the wrong way.
But my whole thing is my people can't always be trying to take the cheap route out. Yeah. Because that's what it is.
Are they taking the cheap route out, or are they taking advantage?
Advantage and the cheap route out. It'd be both.
Yeah.
It'd be both, and one is the same. You see what I'm saying? I mean, both is the same.
Yeah.
So them trying to take advantage, which ended up with them saving more money. But do you truly want a cheap job done for you, or do you want the job done right? But see, that's what we never was able to distinguish, because we always looking for the cheap shit. We always looking for a bargain. Everything can't be bargained because you pay for what you get. At first, I never believed people when they said that. Then remember, we bought a TV. What was it? I don't even know the brand of that TV. It was from Walmart. It's one of them off brands that ain't even hot right now. That motherfucker lasts, a couple of months and went out. They told us in order to fix that damn TV, it would cost the same amount as buying a new TV. So we done paid almost $1,200 for a damn TV that ain't even worth $1,200.
That you had a warranty on.
Turn around, get an LG TV. Been having it for years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. It's the same thing with everybody else. If you want somebody to do a job for you, if you're going to try to do it cheap and fast, you're going to get cheap and fast results.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like people don't understand that when you tell them that everything is one and the same when it comes to doing a job for somebody. You want it fast, you want it fast. First of all, if you knew that you needed me to do you a shirt Friday and it's Tuesday, it's a possibility that you're not going to get it Friday, depending on what you're trying to do.
Hey.
And especially if it's a gang of shirts. And that's what kind of irritates me, because with this one person, which he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know how shirts ran. And I told him. He kept telling me, I want women's shirts. I'm like, universal t-shirts are women and men's shirts. That's why they call universal, because a man and a woman can wear it. But women's shirts run different from the universal shirts. So before we make this move, you need to understand this.
Look, is it fat bitches on your team?
Exactly. But then he got the women's shirts and was like, oh, they too little. No shit, because they size run different as a woman than it would as a universal t-shirt.
Yeah.
So now we had to redo the whole order, which we just split the bill. But like I told him, I never do that again, for the simple fact is you gave me the misinformation. And you the reason why I had the double print.
You know what? I'm real quick on.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Thank you for listening to the Thurman Vikings podcast, which we also are our own conglomerate, which is Thurman Vikings at Facebook.com, Thurman Vikings on Instagram, if you want to go see it now, the merch. And that's just it. We do a lot out here for the community, for our family, for ourselves. It's not also Thurman Viking Herbal on Facebook.com and Instagram. So, like I was saying, we not only do for ourselves, but we also do for our community. We into the holistic healing. If you don't understand what that means or know what it is, please look it up. To what we sell herbs. You know, the hot thing right now is the sea mouse. You know, ever since Dr. Sebi died, a lot of corporations have been jumping on sea mouse. You know, I don't have nothing against anybody that's an entrepreneur that's into holistic healing, but I do have a issue with the corporations because, you know, for a big corporation like Walmart and Amazon and CVS or, you know, all these different corporations jumping into sea mouse when they always been with synthetic, which is it's a synthetic sea mouse. And I don't think a lot of people understand that the herbs and synthetic are one and the same, but not the same. Because in order to get the synthetic formula, they got it from the herbs. So, or the plants or the roots, or it's different aspects of where they get it from, but it comes from the original. So, you know, a lot of people don't understand that. So, you know, I have ran into a couple of situations where a lot of people say, well, what's the difference between your herbs and the ones they selling at Walmart? And I'm like, mine is raw material. It's straight the real thing. It's not a synthetic. It's not broken down. The only way it's broken down is into a powder form, but it's actually 100% real. But when you go to these big companies, it's a synthetic. So understand that. It's not going to have the same effect mine have. It might still work. I don't know. I haven't tried it out because that was my whole thing of holistic healing is not taking the synthetics that I have been given over the years and during my lifetime. But go ahead, what you think about it?
I think it's true. I think when it comes to like the medical field and stuff like that, you do have to understand that they take an oath. And if you have to take an oath to do right by people, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to read that fine print also. And also, it's just, you have these doctors and shit, and it's like they mad scientists. And like now, just listening to Dr. Fauci's words and looking at his energy field, that shit does not match up. Like when I hear this man and see him, I literally see him being the one to push the red button. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's fucked up, but
He definitely give me the mad scientist vibe.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I don't have no beef with him.
Hell no.
You know, I think a lot of people state their opinion, and within that statement, people formulate that it's some kind of a problem or a beef. I'm just stating my opinion, you know. I wouldn't say what I said about him if I didn't listen to a lot of the stuff that he said and went back on and changed up and switched. Man, they played a clip the other day from the time Dr. Fauci was announced to be who he is, which he always been who he is. He just been hiding in plain sight. To now, you know, what's the difference of the message that he giving to the public? So from the time that the coronavirus began to now, he contradicted himself plenty of times, many times. I feel like listen to the 56 song, Many Man, because that's how many times that he changed up.
Yeah.
And it's like, if this is the head of the CDC, the leader of a government task force on Washington or in Washington, do you not understand the mistrust that he gives out to the American people on behalf of the government? Or is people just too ignorant enough to understand the mistrust that he give out? Because I think that's what it is. Because he do what he told to do. Every last one of them got a job.
He get on TV by himself. He does not stand alone. Like,
exactly.
They get together. And see, the thing is, when you dealing with science, you deal with people that don't think on a human level,
on a logical level.
Yeah, on a logical level, because you got to remember when with science, yes, an animal is okay to practice on or whatever, but you also got to remember they need actual results in the things that they're trying to change. That what happened thing is a thing. And when you really think about it, say they have they want to use this medicine, it can only go so far when it comes to the animal dynamic, like hamsters, kittens, rabbits, and shit like that. They want to see how a human would interact with it. And you gotta also understand that they feel like more people will be born, so a loss of people is not a big worry to them. They're gonna always be replaced. So if they have to sacrifice some people, that is okay with them because it's for a greater good, so they say.
No, I definitely get it. You know, I am somewhat of a science buff. I always liked science and experiments. But my personal belief wouldn't lead me to go where people like Dr. Fauci has been. Because I don't believe in sacrificing people for the greater good. Because it's not a proven fact that the vaccination is for the greater good.
Right.
But this is my problem when it comes to stuff like the vaccination. They say most of these companies, there's supposedly, quote unquote, allowed to work on the vaccine on the third stage. What happened to the first and the second stage participants in this?
This is my thing. When did y'all test the kids? Adults can be like, yeah, I'll take it. Where did you get these kids to test on? And it's also been a proven thing that they do not have to necessarily tell you every step of the way, every result, every reaction, or none of that.
Nope. They don't even have to tell you what's in it.
It could be motherfuckers that literally grew another goddamn arm out their rib, and they ain't got to tell you shit. We ain't gonna talk about that one. Let's throw that one away.
But see, that's the problem when it comes to big pharmaceutical and synthetic drugs, and that includes vaccination. Because a vaccine is a synthetic of something. But see, a lot of people don't understand that. All they know is, my doctor said take this shot.
I learned about something the other day. Remember I told you I made myself a goal to where I learn about something new every day. And it's this crab. Let me see if it's still in my Google thing. And it's in every supposedly like IV bag. It's called a something crab. And what they do is they go and they milk these crabs. And it's just the weirdest shit ever to me. And it's just like, how do we just find, and it's the big ass crabs, and that the stuff that they milk them is blue, and they say this is what purifies the IV bags and stuff like that. But if you have a shellfish allergy,
like me,
how would that affect you when you get this IV?
Really bad.
You get what I'm saying?
And I guess that's why I ain't never had an IV.
They call horseshoe crabs.
Mm.
And they have this, like, right up
Yeah.
under this flap right here. It's like a straw. And they pull that straw out, and it's this stuff that milk them it's blue. And it's supposed to be like a sanitizer for your blood, but it's in every vaccine. This is like the substance is like a base for a vaccine, period.
But I noticed that, like, if I went to the hospital and once I told them I had a shellfish allergies, they never gave me no saline.
Really?
You know, I never got an IV.
See, look at it. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never got an IV. I can't remember the last time, you know, I had an IV, you know. And like, remember the time I was dehydrated, they just sent me home, told me I need to go home dehydrated.
Water.
Normally they would give people an IV, so I guess somebody was looking out for me because
It would have been a dead
I would have been a dead motherfucker. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is that just the smallest things that happen with big pharmaceutical companies could affect the life of thousands, maybe potential millions, depending on what you're allergic to or what affects you or how it affects you.
Yeah. I think scientists, when we say that word if, you have to realize really how big that word is. Because what if I give them more of this? Or what if I add this and this? Or what if, you get what I'm saying? What will happen? And the bigness of what will happen is huge, because with this person you might get this, with this person you might get this, you know what I'm saying? And due to the fact that motherfuckers will get electrocuted or struck by lightning and shit like that and wake up with a British accent, that drives their minds wild. So they want to know, why would you think that if they can use a device to look through your mind to see what makes you tick and what don't tick? You see what I'm saying? Don't you know most of the serial killers, like the real big serial killers, they cut their brain open and dissect their brain to see what's different in their fucking brain that made them be the way they are. So how far would they go?
There is no limit.
Ain't no limit.
There's no limit.
Ain't
I
no
mean,
limit.
it's no debating that. Like, anybody that know anything about science know there is no limit to how far these scientists will go to prove their theory.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's a problem. That's just like, you know, I was watching Elementary, you know, which is based off Sherlock Holmes. And they had an episode talking about computer AI. You know, and what resonated with me, with the young boy said, which they couldn't believe that he knew so much about computers, but he said, imagine if it was computers had artificial intelligence. He said, imagine if you was working for the computer and you had to push this button. And he said, imagine what the computer would go. It would, to be more efficient, it would want you to push the button more. Okay, so you started pushing the button more, and it figured it can build or create more artificial intelligence to push the button faster and more efficient. So at this point, it has ruled out us as a person. Now, these are all theories, but think about what you're saying. You created artificial intelligence that can be connected to anything that could be connected to the internet. When will be the point to where they say it'll be more efficient if we ran the earth?
Yeah.
You don't think that would happen? And that's what killed me about scientists, because you still have scientists, like, that's their whole life is dedicated to trying to create artificial intelligence. And I'm like, I get what you're trying to do, but what if you prove your theory? Like you said, if. What if you prove your theory? It wouldn't be long before that artificial intelligence see us as human beings as a threat.
I don't think it would be necessarily a threat. I think it would be unnecessary because think about this. Most scientists have problems with connecting emotionally, which make them not be able to socialize really. They're awkward. You get what I'm saying? Because they don't have that social benefit. Like it to them, being around other people is just not necessary. But look what's happening today. People are freaking out because they haven't had that social contact, and it's just weird, right? But here you got him. This is his shit. This is his shit. Because emotionally, socially, it's unnecessary. So if a robot being as intelligent as they are, we're damaged because some of us have flaws, but it's flaws that make it unnecessary to run the world efficiently. So if they feel like these motherfuckers just gonna keep fucking up, let's just ruin them. We don't need them here. They
But
gonna
okay,
keep
right. But that's what I'm saying. In order to get rid of you, they have to proceed you as what?
a threat.
Okay, that's why I said what I said, because I mean, if you think about it, the more the more time it spends learning,
Yeah.
the faster and the smarter it gets, and it just starts to develop situations. See, that's what people don't understand, how artificial intelligence work. It don't work necessarily as human intelligence or human life form. It's all based on efficiency. So it will efficiently learn how to destroy. It will.
Yeah.
But see, that's what scientists are trying to disprove. Oh, that's not true. But how could you say this? Because you creating a artificial life form to where you don't know the bounds, because at this point it has no bounds.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna. To be honest with you, I'm hoping no scientists ever break that ceiling, because once they reach the top, we in trouble.
Yeah.
We in trouble. We definitely in trouble. So I'm hoping, I don't be watching the news one day and they be like, oh, this is the first artificial life form we created in a such and such lab and such company, and it talks and walks and it does this and does that, because what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like the Terminator.
Yeah.
It truly is. It's gonna be like the Terminator.
You remember we had that robot talk? We was talking about something. You was like, baby, don't you want? Because I think we was looking for a refrigerator or something. I was like, I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit to morph and crush us.
A smart refrigerator.
I was like,
smart
I don't
refrigerator.
want that shit. Because it's a robot to me.
Because it could be controlled by, like we saying, artificial intelligence.
Yes. And the thing is, like, people, okay, so we was having a conversation with a family member a while back. And the family member was like, I don't want them shits in my house. They'll be constantly listening and tracking and this and that, which is true, because we was talking about the Googles. And
with the Google Homes and the Alexas and
all that, which is true. It is true. Now,
it definitely listen. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie and say that it don't listen to you.
All the time.
Our Google Home always lighting up listening.
Oh yeah.
But in order for it not to listen, you can turn the speaker option off, but I still think they listen.
Oh, yeah, because you think about it, if you have, in order for us, what do just about every American have in common? No matter what the financial guidelines or anything, we all have cell phones.
Yes.
And even though we can literally see our Google listening to us,
you can't see
your cell phone. These things are engines, and everything is driven off of data. Data is the most important thing right now, because basically you is collecting what you
data
think
is life.
Yes.
Data is life. Over the last 5 years, data has become more important than cash.
Oh yeah, because it is collecting, like right now. If we talking about, of course, this is a smart TV, right? If we talking about mattresses, the next time the next commercials come on,
it's going to be about
mattresses.
That is definitely true.
When
we have seen that one too many
yes,
times.
When I talk about DSW shit, that I get a flood of emails.
I ain't seen DSW in months.
Yes, it's lit. The thing is everything is always listening. Everything is always listening because that is just the way of the world now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fucked up with it. I can either not have this shit in my house or have this shit in my house.
Exactly. It's your option to unplug from the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to unplug from the matrix, then do it. Like, don't let nothing stop you.
Uh-huh.
But see, that's the problem, is that us as people and how we have developed over generations, we come to depend solely on technology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, if EMP hit us, which is electromagnetic pulse, if it hit us and fry every smartphone, every smart TV, every car, because 90% of the cars now are made with a smart chip in it. But see, a lot of people don't know that. It go all the way back to like early 2000s. A lot of people don't know that. So your car wouldn't even run. Your phone wouldn't even work. Yeah, your lights would be off. Your water, you might have water. You might have water, depending on where you live at.
Yeah.
But a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive. They wouldn't be able to grasp the concept of what's really going on. They'll be trying to get to somewhere where they can call the light company and call all these different people like, oh, I need my lights back on. Man, we got hit by EMB. You know, you won't have lights till it's indefinitely right now.
Yeah.
But see, a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive. They wouldn't make it because we have came to depend on technology. If right now today, if Anchor called us, which that's who sponsor us, what if they called us? Like right now, Google listening. But if Anchor called us and said, listen, we heard y'all podcast, we like some of it, but we disliked a lot of stuff that y'all talked about. They give us an ultimatum. Either y'all can get down and talk about what we allow y'all to, or we just cut all y'all audios off and shut y'all podcast down. Me being who I am, I have integrity. So I'm going to be like, do what you do. I go somewhere else. Because when I tell you, it's so many different places to do a podcast now.
Yeah.
Because podcast is like the new YouTube.
Yeah.
So, everybody want to do podcasts. Copying people doing podcasts. Even though they podcasts, ain't even really about nothing. It's about just nothingness. Sometimes people like to see nothingness.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't criticize people for making a podcast or doing a podcast. It's enough room in this space for every single person in America to make their own podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah.
So, I see how things go. But I would never sell out what I believe in or what I talk about for a couple of dollars. To be honest with you, people don't understand how it works. Like, we only got, let's say we just now hit 140, I think, of plays between all our podcasts. So you talking about 12 or 13 listens each podcast, which I appreciate it. It's not that I don't, but it's not a lot of money. You have to have millions of hits and sponsorships to generate the money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that if you get a podcast and you get a couple of thousand listeners or viewers, depending on what kind of podcast you got, that you finna make a lot of money. No, you need the sponsorship.
Yeah.
So in order to stay in line with the sponsorship, you gotta do what they tell you to do. So if they don't like that we cuss on our podcast, or they don't like that we talk about artificial intelligence, or we talk about political weigh-ins and how we feel about politicians and any of these numbers of things, they can control what you say.
Yeah.
But if you don't allow them, then they can't do it. And that, let's say, for instance, if all of that happens, like I said, it happened, and then I go somewhere else, and then they say the same thing, and I go somewhere else, and they say the same thing. At some point of a time, I'm gonna be like, I'm not even doing podcasts no more. I'm not even gonna do it no more because at this point, I'm not willing to sacrifice what I believe in, which is free speech, for somebody controlling what I say.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to do that. A lot of people are. So they'll just have to find the people that's willing to do that.
Yeah. You know, it comes to a point where we have to realize that people will decide what to do, and it's up to you whether you be okay with their decision. And then what do you do? Like, to me, like, if it be some shit on the internet, I don't get too hung up in it no more.
You can't. Can't.
Because it fuck with your mind, and then you all pissed off and pissy about nothing that don't even matter. Why do you feel like you should feel strongly about some shit unless you gonna do some shit about it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're just like, I see a lot of stuff that happens on social media. First of all, I don't get up and check my Facebook every day, and Instagram, and we got businesses. I feel like the thing is how the business page work on Facebook and Instagram. If somebody want to buy something from me, first of all, they send a message. They don't just post under a post I post.
Yeah.
But even so, I still have an app for that to where it notifies me if somebody wants to purchase something. So I don't get up and check my social status and everybody else's and see what's going on in people's lives. I go days without even getting on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand about me because they feel like I be lying, but I'm like, nah, bro, it's really true. Like, people's birthdays be done paid. They be like, you ain't send me no shout out on Facebook. Dude, I don't even be on Facebook like that. But happy birthday, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people got to understand. Everybody is not the same, and everybody don't live and breathe social media.
And it's a wow factor, too. And it go hand in hand with, well, did you watch that show last night? It's like, I don't even watch TV like that.
Right.
So you kind of, it's like, is it really like a big deal like that? Now, I do have my phone all the time, but a lot of times I'm reading, you know what I'm saying? Or doing some, like, on YouTube, watching other world news and shit. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's not even necessary so much so. But then people are like, damn, you really don't do that shit? And it's like, no, it's not important because you could be doing something else. Like, you tell me all the time, Nene, sit the fuck down. You can clean up. And I'm like, no, I gotta scrub. You know what I'm saying? You be like, that shit gonna be there tomorrow. Your house is not nasty. You just think it is, you know?
Do you hear that voice in your head every time you talk? Because you do that voice every time you say something about yourself.
Yeah, because I think I'm a panicky person.
But your voice doesn't sound like that when you in panic mode.
Well, guess what? Your voice of me sound like, you know how when women talk about men, it's their same voice. When men talk about women, it's their same voice. But no woman hear they self as they self. They hear they self as probably like their mama voice. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think people need to get to a point where if it do not feel right the first time, I think if something don't feel right when you go through some shit, if it make you feel the opposite of good, you need to reevaluate the situation, especially when it comes to the voting aspect or just world ways. If you go to a restaurant,
social media make people feel good, especially when they give people comments and likes.
Yeah,
you know, what is the endorphin in your brain that it release? Scientists did a study on
dopamine.
Yeah, I think it's dopamine.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel good. And it released the dopamine. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that if you're listening, because I'm not sure if I'm correct by it. But it released in your brain and it makes you feel how you feel. And see, a lot of people don't understand. That's why they so addicted to social media. It's like a cigarette.
I like cigarettes though.
Right. But a lot of people don't understand it. They be
Yeah.
like, why you smoke? Why you on social media all the time? You know what I'm saying? Same thing, buddy. You might not get the same results, but it's still the same thing. It's an addiction.
I remember my mama had this friend, man. That shit, and it didn't even sound good coming from a kid's standpoint. She had this daughter, and they had moved down here. They had first got their apartment. Her daughter had asthma so bad. I'm talking about like she couldn't even get a whiff of anything without like perfume or anything like that. And she was smoking in the house, and the daughter started having an asthma attack. Now, mind you, we like 8 and 9 and shit. She gave the little girl a cup of coffee, and supposedly, you know, coffee helps with asthma. And she got mad, and I don't even think she was mad. I just think she thought that the daughter was trying to stop her from smoking, which was stupid. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I don't give a fuck about you having asthma. I like to smoke, and I'm going to keep smoking. I don't give a damn about your medical reasonings. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that shit don't seem legit. You know what I'm saying, as a kid. But you know what's really fucked up? My mama ain't say shit. My mama ain't say shit. It was just
but
like,
if it wasn't her child, it wasn't her place to say nothing.
Yeah.
No, it ain't that it didn't matter. The problem is when it comes to black people, when they wrong, especially when it comes to their kids, the main thing is you can't tell them they wrong because they gonna swab it down. You know, I'm the parent. You can't tell me how to parent.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we all tell each other. You can't tell me how to parent, and it depends on what the situation is. Like I tell my sister, I'm going to listen to what you got to say. But if I disagree, you can't stop me from disagreeing.
Yeah.
Just like I can't stop you from disagreeing.
Yeah.
You know, part of being a parent is it's your choice to how you raise your children.
Yeah.
You know, so your mama wasn't wrong for not stepping in that situation because that could have been a bad situation on her end.
Yeah.
Because then she would have been forced to have a problem with
her
this
friend,
this supposedly friend, and you know it would have been iffy. So
yeah,
I don't try to step or cross boundaries when it comes to people and their children. And I think that's how your mama was with it. And I completely understand that. Because like I said, it could have been an ugly situation if she would have been like, so you gonna treat your daughter like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing is, what you mean?
I'm a good mama. I sacrificed all this shit for these goddamn. I'm a smoke with cigarettes.
You know, and me going through parenthood, I have to kind of let people know, you know, it's gonna be good times and it's gonna be bad times. You know, and I think that's what the misconception of parenthood is, because we constantly looking for the good thing to do for our child and not accepting the bad situations that they get into.
Yeah.
So we kick ourselves and be like, oh, well, I am a good parent, but nobody's saying that you're a bad parent. It's just the situations that your child got into look bad. So your job as a parent is to fix it or try to make it better or change it. You know, what makes you a bad parent is when your child get into a bad situation and they don't learn from it, or you don't assist them in it when it's a need for you to assist them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not judging anybody's parenting skills or anybody's situation, because things happen, especially in the world, to where it didn't matter if you was a good parent or not. Just something bad happened.
Well, see, that's how come, you know, I becoming a parent, especially having an older daughter, was 12 years old. This is my thing. I never, when I was younger, before I had kids, understood when I would hear older people say, you can lead your child, or you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that shit is so true.
True.
So true.
True.
And I get it now when I see, you know, how you see your friends that have like what you would think a family better than yours, or more support than yours, or, you know, people that'll do better than you, or your parents per se. it's just like, how could they, you know what I'm saying, turn out being this way and that way, and they had that good ass family? It's because they led them to the water, but did they drink? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, I'm like this. Because I see it all the time. You know, a lot of people put on a good front as a parent for social media. And then behind closed doors, they really ain't caring about the situation that their children got into or getting into or helping them at all. You know, but the moment it come time for a photo, you like, let's take a photo so I can put this on social media.
Yeah.
You know, but it's got to change because these kids now realizing that their parents is using them as a photo op when they get old enough. And they like, I don't even want to deal with you. I want to deal with you. I want to deal with your social media. I'm doing my own thing. And then you got the parent be like, well, you know, my children grown and da-da-da-da-da. No. They have realized that you've been faking the phone on social media.
I don't like, this is what I don't like. Parents have to come to a realization that you teach your child without actually sitting down and formulating lessons with a child. You absolutely teach your child. I did not realize, with having 3 girls, I did not realize how much our kids listen to us rather than us talking to them and they listening to us. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even though you always have parents that be like, I ain't teach them that, how the fuck you know? Because it could have very much well been you. Then you asking them, where the fuck you learn this shit from? I don't know. They ain't gonna tell you. I saw you twerking. I want to twerk like you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't gonna say that shit. They just gonna be like, I don't know. You ain't get that shit from me. Yes, I did. But can they say it?
No, they can't. They're not allowed to.
No. Hell no. Oh, I was watching this one video, and it was this man and this lady having like a marriage discussion, and he was like, she pressured him into monogamy, and she couldn't believe that he said this shit. But did you really? Like, what if you gave him an ultimatum like,
marry me or else? Marry me or else?
Some people be doing that shit and then be totally just blew out the water when somebody bring that shit up. But they go hand in hand with our kids too.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do shit around them. Like, I couldn't believe my mama got mad at me when she found out I smoked with cigarettes. You smoke, but it's do as I say, not as I do. I fucking hate that saying because ain't no doubt in my mind that one of our kids gonna grow up and smoke.
But like I said, though, not under this roof you won't smoke until you old enough to buy your own cigarettes. Exactly. You can buy your own cigarettes. You can smoke your own cigarettes.
Exactly.
You can drive your own car when you're old enough to drive.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the understanding that we have.
Yeah. I just don't. I think that needs to be taken out of the black communities too, because you do have to realize that even though now you're not teaching your child to do, you know what I'm saying, shit that would be frowned upon, you looking from a parent aspect, but you being as an adult aspect, you have to go ahead to do whatever it is you want to do. Your kids see this shit. If your child witness you always partying and neglecting home life, what you think they gonna want to do?
The same thing.
The same thing. That's not saying nothing bad. That's just you reaping what you sowed. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that, I think people need to. That's when we was talking about that accountability shit. This is what you did.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you done. And then once a parent get old, once the child get grown, it's like, well, you need to wind down. Who the fuck told you need to wind down? You know what I'm saying? Because from what I recollect, it took you a minute. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you waited till I had kids to become calm and not be my ass at no conversation. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And it's just like, how you want me to get right when all I saw was you not get right?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just think, it's a lot of shit that need to be worked on within our community, because it's a lot of stuff that was wrong. And it's not saying that it's bad, it's just that we was taught wrong. Now we have to learn right, because, and it's not according to somebody else's household at that. It's just that what works for your household. I think more communication is better. More explaining stuff is better, because a lot of times our parents be mad at us not because of what we necessarily did, because we know the dangers in the world and they don't necessarily know how to communicate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get mad at us for being bad as hell, and it's like, okay, well, shit, this is what children do. You know what I'm saying? Like, with our kids, we talk to them plenty of times before it get to disciplinary action.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they keep acting up after the several talks, then it comes to the disciplinary action. And I think shit need to be way more explained, but if the parents don't want to learn nothing new, then how the hell is the child gonna know anything better? You know what the old people say, if you
can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, and then
if you knew better, you'll do better.
Mm-hmm. But don't nobody want to know better, because that will force them into, first of all, admitting the shit that they learned from their parents was wrong, and making them be different, or making them know more. Knowledge is power, you know what I'm saying? But don't nobody necessarily want to get into that. I hate talking to people that be like, well, but I'm saying, yeah, but it is, but what is, you keep coming with all these solutions, but you still have problems.
There's always that but in there.
That but. I hate buts. Yeah, but, but I'm fucked up, but I said this, but, you know what I'm saying? I still had that issue. I'm not saying that it's not me. I'm just saying it should be better addressed. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how ourselves are.
Well, I feel like the conversation need to be had. Mm-hmm. We so quick to stay away from conversations that we may relate to, but don't necessarily know if we agree or disagree. And I think you just can't. You can't avoid it.
Yeah.
If you avoid it so long, then you're gonna have problems with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to avoid conversations with a lot of people, on a but situation. I try to kind of get some kind of a ruling or establishment of, is this or is not this?
Yeah.
You can't be in between. And so much and so often that we in between situations, we haven't made our decision. We can't be undecisive on situations, because that only leave it to be there to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
Situations don't get better, they get worse.
Yeah.
That's why it is a situation.
Mm-hmm.
So by being undecisive, it's gonna be a problem. That's why I don't like to do buts and wait for somebody to make their decision. I go ahead and lay it out there. Look, this is what I think should be the decision. What do you think?
Yeah, and I also think I think when it comes to human interaction, number one, you have one person that's always trying to please the other person, and then you have the other person scared to hurt another person's feelings. It's just always this mixed shit. This shit that don't exist there.
Well, it's hard not to. It's hard to go that route, because a lot of people are over emotional. Oh, and we are in a very over emotional state right now when it comes to our people.
Oh, yeah.
So conversations that need to be had are being avoided.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, nobody don't really want to talk the truth about politics. Nobody don't really want to talk the truth about what's going on in Black America. But we quick to say what people doing to us. Now, that's a conversation that every Black person is willing to have.
You know what? And we say that a lot to our kids. Mouth shield, tattletale. and such did this. You ask her what she did. She don't know. I ain't know shit. I ain't seen shit. I ain't heard shit. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't did nothing.
Don't ask me shit. But I can tell you what she did.
Exactly.
And it's like, don't tell on her if you can't tell on yourself.
Like, I'm not bashing us as people. And I think black people got to understand that and quit trying to make things so severe when somebody has an opinion or even states a fact or the truth.
Yeah.
Because the fact and the truth is, we doing all this marching and protesting in these different states and cities, even across the world. Mm-hmm. But are we in a position to where black people is not harming black people?
Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, come on now. Everybody say Chicago. Yes, Chicago is, a big city to where it's a lot of black on black crime. Mm-hmm. But Chicago ain't the only place.
Hell no.
It's everywhere in the United States.
Hell yeah.
So I think we need to get out of that judgy situation to where we feel like we're going to judge these bigger cities like it don't happen in the smaller cities, like it don't happen in the rural areas, like it don't happen in middle class, mm-hmm. in all these different other communities. Is a real thing to where black people are doing harm to other black people.
Because they can.
Because they can. Or because they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Or because they got too emotional, which it could be mad, sad. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's one of the biggest points when it comes to our people. We let our emotions drive us to do wrong, but they won't drive us to do right.
Yep. But what do the opposite person do?
What opposite person?
You have that black on black crime stigma. And then it's like, well, you ain't do shit the first such and such times, or you knew this motherfucker was a thief, you didn't report him such and such times. You know what I'm saying? But then when something get out of control, it's the black on black crime. But that's what y'all reporting.
Yeah. Well, it is also white on white crime.
Yeah.
Different crime. It's different crime. And the thing is, like I'm saying, I get that, but what's important to me
black on black
is the crime on my people committing on themselves. Mm-hmm. My thing is, this is what I know. You have all of these people in the hood that'll go and shoot up the other side of the city in another hood because of a disagreement or a bad transaction or just the colors that they wear. Mm. A police officer is shooting and killing motherfuckers. Y'all don't go riddle his house up with bullets. Mm-mm. And send a message to him.
In fact, y'all avoid that motherfucker.
Y'all run from him.
Yeah. Like your life depend on it. It do.
But that's what get me with this gang shit. If you really, like you say you are, because a lot of these people swear that they hitters and killers and ops and all of these different terminologies for them doing crime or negative things to people. Why y'all wouldn't do the police like that? Why y'all want to do these lawyers who fuck y'all a lot of money like that? Or these judges who locking y'all up like that? I'm not telling people to do that. I'm saying, why is it a cutoff switch when it go outside of the black community?
Man, so, okay, it's this black dude. I guess he just got released the other day. He served 38 years for stealing supposedly some hedge clippers. How old are you?
37.
30-fucking-7. He been in jail just as long as you been alive. And he didn't do the shit. You get what I'm saying? And his statement...
How you get 37 years for stealing?
Exactly. And his statement was, I have forgiven.
Oh, black people love that shit.
I have forgiven the people that prosecuted me. Motherfucker, if you don't tell me you mad, you crying because you free. They stole that shit from you. Even if you did steal some hedge clippers, I just don't think that is the time that you should have got.
Before this end, I want to say this. every so often you have families going on national TV forgiving people who harm their family. I'm not saying that you can't forgive people. I'm saying if they intended on harming your family, why forgive them? Why forgive them? Now, if let's say it was a car accident, like David Banner's situation, I can understand the family saying that they forgive him because it was an accident. But if somebody kicked down somebody's door and kill them because of a disagreement or a sexual encounter going wrong or whatever it may have been, which I'm talking about the police officer lady that killed that young boy in his apartment, talking about she got the wrong apartment. Why would y'all forgive her for that? She intended on harming him. You got to hold her accountable. Quit giving people cop-outs when it come to big media coverage. Because if a nigga broke in your house and stole everything you had and went to jail, you wouldn't forgave him.
No.
You wouldn't have forgave him.
No.
You wouldn't have went on the national news and told, oh, I forgive him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Hold people accountable. But go ahead. We're going to end this.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think we need to realize the poisons that we're being fed. Hope, forgiveness, and the fact that where you come from. Because I don't give a fuck whether you come from the hood or you come from the suburbs or you come from wherever. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. The problem is people that do wrong don't accept the fact that they did wrong. And that's my ending.
So we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you for joining the Thermal Viking podcast. This is season 1, episode 13, part 3. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Don't forget, go to Thermal Viking on Facebook, Thermal Viking on Instagram, Thermal Herbal on Facebook and Instagram, and support. We have merch, we have herbs, we have shea butter, we have candles, we make t-shirts, DTG, vinyl. So support. And today we're gonna end this last topic on, I'm gonna give it to you since I picked the last one. It don't matter what it is, you know.
I think I want to go back to the subject about with the, a lot of innocent black people are in jail. Or not even, well, yeah, innocent. It is a lot of innocent black people that's in jail that shouldn't be in there. Even the ones that got time that did not.
It's a lot of innocent, guilty black people in jail.
Explain.
From my understanding, from when I grew up, it was an officer patrolled our neighborhood. His name was Stryker. And he was a dirty cop. And he told us as children, it don't matter if you're a child or when you get grown, if you don't commit a crime, I will plant evidence on you. You will go to jail because I said you will. So think about that. As a child, you got an officer that plants drugs and weapons on children so they'll have a record. After that record, when I say innocent guilty is because after they get out, they angry. So they like, well, if that's how they perceive me, then that's how I'm going to proceed forward to be and be a drug dealer or a robber or whatever criminal activity that they participate in. So at first they was innocent, could not prove their innocence. So they guilty by the situation because they like, well, forget it. If this is what they want me to be, that's what I'm gonna be. If this is what they gonna force me to do, then that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I'm not saying everybody is innocent. I'm saying it's so many situations to where so many corrupt officers have done these things and taken away people's rights in their life and time away from their life. But see, we don't want to talk about that as Americans because, America covers up the police corruption, especially in the black community. They don't see it because in the middle class and in upper class communities, police are not planting dope and kicking in doors. Because for some of them, this is where they reside at. This is where their family reside at. So no, they're not going to be planting dope on little Bobby from down the street because little Bobby daddy is some kin to the police chief. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they know better. But they know they can go to any black neighborhood and pull that shit and get away with it.
Who gonna believe you?
I'm tired of people trying to have a misconception that it is good cops. Explain to me, if it's good cops in America, then how are these cops that are so-called, unquote, bad apples able to commit the crimes that they commit?
At the magnitude. Because I feel like most times when police officers get caught up or it decides to make news, I feel like it only come when they can't cover shit up no more.
Yeah.
And I feel like that ain't even right. Like, the only reason why y'all coming forward now, it ain't cause somebody finally said this shit. No, it's because y'all couldn't cover it up no more. So y'all covering y'all ass and go ahead and turn in y'all brethren.
Yeah, let me cover my tracks. Oh, we ain't have no dealings with him.
We ain't know.
He his own entity. He committed crimes that we didn't know about. That's why I say there are no good cops.
Man, remember that one video we was watching with that officer raping all them black girls and shit? And that one girl that had got away, I don't know how she got away from his big ass, because that was a big motherfucker. I don't know how she fought him out, but she did, damn it. And that motherfucker looked her dead in her face and was like,
in court.
Ooh, I should have killed you.
In court.
And he felt that shit within his whole being of existence.
He said this shit in court, though.
He said, I knew I should have killed you. I knew I should have. Because he felt like, if it wasn't for your black ass,
I wouldn't have got caught.
I would have fucking got away with it.
If it wasn't for you meddling some kids.
Right.
You don't pull the Scooby-Doo on
I'm
them.
telling you. And just imagine her life at this point. The trauma.
And not only that, she gonna get harassed by cops.
Other cops.
You see what I'm saying?
This motherfucker was dead ass wrong.
But that's what I keep trying to tell people. I'm sick of people putting this narrative out there that it is good cops out here. A good cop would turn in a fucked up cop like that. They don't turn that man in. They don't turn these motherfuckers in. They not telling on each other.
But they ask you to help solve a
And
problem.
ask you to tell on the motherfucker in these streets. And then let you tell on the motherfucker and throw your ass right back out there where they at. Where they family at.
There you go, right there.
So it don't pay to snitch. So everybody who thinking they can be like 6ix9ine, it's not happening. And it's funny because they done started a snitching culture with this dude.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, I seen a video which I do not support Vlad no more, but it was on Vlad TV. And Lil Boosie was saying how he felt about the situation. He said that they would be having, that if 6ix9ine or somebody out his crew, because that's what Vlad asked him, if somebody did what 6ix9ine did in his crew, what would happen? He said they would have graveyard issues. They have cemetery issues, which means that somebody gotta die.
It ain't gonna be enough dirt to cover up what needs to happen.
So now these two other dudes that's part of this little crew or this little gang that 6ix9ine was running with and snitched on, and they gonna get mad at Lil Boosie. And I remember I told you, I was like, it don't make no sense. You want beef or get mad with Lil Boosie and telling him he need to shut up and keep his opinions to himself, but you ain't saying that shit about 6ix9ine? Every fucking post this dude posting, he saying how he snitched on your boys, how he waited and went to court on y'all and told on y'all, and he'll do it again, and call him a rat, he don't care. You ain't telling him to shut up. You ain't telling him to keep his opinions to himself. He actually did harm to you and your crew and your gang. But in these times, it's okay. Let's not go after him, or let's not even say something about him. Let's ignore him. I ain't fucking with him, but let's beef with Lil Boosie. Let's tell Lil Boosie shut up before he run into some problems. And I'm like, that had to be the stupidest thing that you motherfuckers ever said.
And you know what I really hate is when you do. I did see one video where I guess it was like somebody in Chicago, a rapper from Chicago. Of course, I don't know. You know, so I can't remember the name, but that nigga straight up opened his mouth and was like, "I'ma let God handle it." I was like, nigga, you just did a whole drive-by the other day. That's the route you take. That's the route. I like this. I like the other shit. Don't let God handle that shit. Why?
Scared. If you weren't scared to do what you did in the first place, or be around the people you around, or be in the situations you was in, then don't be scared when you feel like your life on the line.
Yeah.
But that's what I keep saying. Like in the earlier session, there is no accountability. Nobody want to take accountability or responsibility for their actions.
And to get mad when somebody do hold them accountable. And it's just like, so how far are you willing to go with this?
This what I can't say about the Lil Boosie situation. Boosie been rapping for a long time. I ain't never heard nobody that ever been around Boosie or involved in anything he was involved in close to him snitching on him or snitching on anybody around him.
And mind you, now let's remember when Boosie went to jail for.
Yeah, Boosie went to jail.
Did his time.
I ain't heard nobody saying that Boosie snitched on them. But see, that's what they ain't looking at. All they looking at is
he said some shit.
I feel like this Vlad instigates so much beef in the black community, it ain't even funny. And to let this white man sit down and manipulate your mind to say shit against people, and then pour them people on their necks and then tell them this is what such and such said about y'all. Let me play the video for you. Let me play the video. Hold on a second. If you don't believe me, this is what they said.
I got it right here on tape.
And they like, man, I can't believe a motherfucker said that. Hold on. What you shouldn't believe is that he asked them to weigh in on this situation. But you ain't looking at it like that. You talking about what you should do to another person. You should have been up there slapping the hell out of Vlad. But see, ain't nobody said that shit. And now everybody talking about cancel Vlad. It's too late. Dude been keeping up beef for fucking generations.
Now motherfuckers want to have an aha moment. Like, what the fuck? Y'all didn't see this potential goddamn threat? That's what get me. Like, do you not see the potential in what people doing? I understand if it's a loved one. But a loved one can be very fucking harmful to you because of the potential threat. So, an outside person, they don't give a fuck about you necessarily. Just
like we ain't gonna talk about how Vlad is because a lot of people don't want to hear it. They'll go and share his videos, like his videos, comment on his videos about all the different people that come on there. But in all actuality, you know, it's some deep shit going on with Vlad. That's just like the My Son situation. You know, if you don't know who My Son is an advocate for black people. He works with Tamika Mallory and their foundation. Well, when Vlad got into his beef about how he keep on, you know, trying to beef with Farrakhan, and a lot of black people didn't appreciate that, he hurry up and throw My Son under the bus. Well, I'm cool with My Son, and that's my friend, and I paid him and helped his organization.
What?
And then instead of My Son, you know, saying, yeah, he did do that, but that don't give him the right to do it. He like, well, you know, he can say what he want to say, which is true. But just him saying what he wanted to say, do that warrant the support from black people? So if he's saying shit and doing shit against black people, why would you support him? I'm not telling you to tell him not to say it. But see, that's what Rasta 9 was trying to tell my son, is that this dude is a counselor in the black community because all he do is get black people to beef with each other.
Yeah.
And my son like, well, yeah, I get that, but if they gonna go on there and beef with each other, that's their problem. No, it's not their problem. That's our problem because it's our people in our community. He don't, at the end of the day, like he said, he don't lay down and sleep with these folks and be around these folks. He don't even live around these folks.
No.
Matter of fact, he ain't even meeting these folks at his home. He meeting people at a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
But see, a lot of people ain't even noticing that. He don't even want you to know where he fucking stay at.
And I feel like black people need to quit being tricked, man.
They need to quit being pawns.
Yeah, the first sign of deception lets you know that shit coming. Because you know when something ain't right with folks. You know, and then too, what get me is when a motherfucker prove that they willing to do you dirty, they'll do that shit again. They'll do that shit as long as you allow it. Vlad, how many times have this man done it? Ignited.
He got listen. A lot of them wars that happened over the last couple of years, he had a lot to do with it because he kept having all them Chicago rappers on there talking about each other.
But see, if you say that was an assassination attempt, that's impossible for your mind to even reach that way. What if that was his goal from the get-go? Because it don't go that far from the motherfucker that they found them in Baltimore, shooting in the project saying it was an opposite gang when it was a police officer. Remember they found that motherfucker? They trapped him up on the top of that building when he was trying to run. That was an officer. He did that shit, been doing that shit. But these niggas winded up going and shooting each other because of the potential threat. So, how come y'all so quick to being okay to being tricked?
What about the white officer that had on a mask and they shot them dudes? I think it was in like a gas station or a store. In the store, he shot like 2 or 3 black people and they tried to say it was a black man. They come to find out it was an officer. Now, they had been fucking sharing this information on the news and on social media. Oh, we looking for a black male, such and such and such and such. When they find out it was a police officer wearing a mask, they did not air that shit anymore.
Let me tell you about this shit. So, it was this officer. He had, when they finally dug in, you know how they'll show the file on the news and everything be blacked out, but these words shown blacked out. Well, somehow they got a hold to the original files.
Without it being blacked out. The redactions.
When I tell you it was 67 domestic violence calls to this man's house as a fucking police officer. 67, okay? When the wife finally died, she died on a dirt road. And the camera, she had her phone out like she was changing a tire or something. Her tire was flat. And she somehow took a picture. I don't know if it was just meant for this motherfucker to get caught or what. She took a picture of the man that was last seen with her, which was a black man, dreadlocks, hands, everything. He looked like a full-fledged ass black man. Until one of the investigators was like, this don't look right. Let's get a search warrant and go search this man's house because the files don't seem right, the crime scene don't seem right, none of this, because it was like 2 miles from her house. She had a restraining order against him. All these cases or whatever. Tell me why they go and find this like chest. It was a full-fledged black man suit.
Something like out of a fucking sci-fi movie.
Man, they found a whole fucking black man body in a chest. And of course they had been looking for a black man with dreads.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker in the chest in the garage.
It was the perfect crime until he got caught.
Perfect fucking crime. Perfect crime. How is it? Oh, and he didn't even get no fucking time. Well, I think it would have been necessary. I think he got like 3 years. Nigga, that was premeditated. You didn't just so happen to fall into a black man's suit.
He a cop, though.
He a fucking cop.
They gonna look out for their own people even when they wrong. And that's why I keep saying ain't no good cops. Everybody want to try to convince me it's good cops. No, motherfucker, it is not.
Because from the get-go, from the first report that she made, his ass should have been in jail. He shouldn't have had his fucking badge and shit after that. But just because he was a cop, he kept fucking doing it, knowing that they was gonna cover his shit up.
They the world most vicious criminals. Because they paid to enforce the law that they always break and get away with it because they there to enforce it.
Yep.
And that's why, man, black people used to say this shit a long time ago, and it's true. The biggest gang in America is the fucking police department.
Oh, and don't let it
and
be.
And it's definitely true.
Yeah, don't let it be a smart police officer. The motherfucker pull a black man out of chest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you got to think about this. Look how many different organizations it is of law enforcement.
Yeah.
They're the biggest gang in America, like it always been said. It always been, I ain't even gonna say underground. It always been something that was spoken amongst communities, but never out in public.
Yeah. Just like in Chattanooga a couple of days ago in East Ridge, somebody shot a police officer, pulled him over and shit. You know, I like to observe shit. So I'm looking at how they did the story, but I'm looking at all the police officers around the crime scene.
30.
It wasn't, no, hell no. It wasn't even, it was a lot of officers, but it wasn't even CPD that was out there. It wasn't even East Ridge Police Department. It was goddamn state troopers. Fuck y'all motherfuckers come from. And why are you here? And they had the GBI out there. Why you here? You supposed to be on the
highways. Yeah.
Here you come with your hats. You get what I'm saying? That shit just don't make sense. But
they call it that reinforcement. That's what it is. That's what it be.
You know this motherfucker didn't live. You know what I'm saying? They whacked his ass. The officer is recovering or whatever.
Of course, they wasn't gonna let him live alive, and that be the thing. Like I said, they the biggest gang ever. If you hurt one of theirs, you ain't even gotta kill them. It's a contract hit out on you that is unspoken amongst them that they already know. When they catch you, they're gonna kill you.
I love listening to how, you know, now they have like the little aftermath for, you know, it be, I guess, the little camera thing. I think for the past 6 years since they've been incorporating the camera thing, and when you hear the aftermath of a cop shooting somebody, you hear that same speech. You did what you had to do. It was either you go home to your family or you don't go home to your family. And it's like, why we can't say that shit to each other? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why we can't say that to them? Why that can't be something that we say to them? Well, I did what I had to do. I was protecting my family. I was trying to go home to my family, make sure I make it home.
You did what you had to do, son.
But that's what I say. People always talking about, you know, how the criminal system is or the justice system. The thing is, they just as criminal as the motherfuckers in the street committing crime. Because they commit, it's organized and it's at a high level, but they committing crimes they damn self. All these judges committing prostitution and shit, lawyers and shit, getting high, snorting cocaine and all kind of crazy shit.
Mayors, like that.
Mayor get caught smoking crack, prostitution and all. This motherfucker had so many goddamn charges, boy, it wasn't even funny.
Man, that black dude, like, you couldn't even, you was so fucked up, you didn't even become alert when they came in there taking pictures of the scene. Like, nigga, your ass was out.
He was fucked up. He was high as hell.
I'm talking about fucked up. He's like, yeah, I know this is the second time I done.
Right.
He got caught in the room.
So the first time he should have been in jail.
Because it's illegal.
Exactly. Prostitution and drugs. So he should have been locked up, but they didn't lock him up.
No.
They let him go. Just that's what they do. They protect their own people. That's why I said the reason why they so tough, especially on black people, when they be like, we know you committed a crime, because they doing it their damn self. It ain't that they got any evidence on you. They know they committing a crime, so they feel like it's impossible for you not to.
If it was me.
Right. If it was me, I would have committed a crime because I'm committing crimes now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on, police. Where you think all these guns and weed and shit come up from? Man, these cops.
Yeah.
These cops.
Yeah.
Evidence disappearing, ain't nobody said shit. It ain't been on the news, don't nobody know.
Yeah. I ain't heard
shit. we decided to keep this internal. Mm-hmm. I bet y'all did. Yeah. Because all y'all motherfuckers had that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But see, that's the shit that happens.
Yeah.
As long as we allow, really, it ain't even us. As long as the Caucasians allow their counterparts to behave in this manner, they're going to keep behaving in that manner.
Yeah.
It ain't going to stop. Yeah. They're going to continue to do what they do, how they do it, and how they want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep telling people, trust in the police and trust in the officers. I'm not. It's not going to happen. We got to wake up and we got to understand that in the black community, we need to start looking out and trusting for each other, because we can't expect the police to look out for us, to trust what's going on. Because I done seen too many people be honest with the police and they still say these people was lying because they didn't get the results that they wanted. It didn't turn out how they wanted to turn out. They didn't get to lock somebody up and make a case against somebody. So I think we just got to stay vigilant on bettering our community, because we can't continue to sit and wait on the police and these lawyers and judges and district attorneys and all it go all the way up to the fucking president. We can't keep waiting on these people to change our situation. We have to change our own situation, and we got to help each other change it. If you know your neighbor's struggling, do what you can for your neighbor. I'm not saying give them your all. If we had black neighbors, because, we don't have black neighbors on either side of us. We have white people on both sides of us.
They don't fuck with us.
We don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with us. We got to understand it.
Yeah.
But if we have black neighbors, and something happen, and they like, hey, like when the power was out, do y'all have some water or something? You're like, yeah, we got water right here. We stockpile water, whatever. Here go 10 bottles. That shit lasts y'all at least to the light, to your water come back on.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem if you got 100 bottles sitting in your fucking basement.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But see, that's how we are. That's the situation that we be forced in, to where when situations like that occur, we too selfish to say, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and share a little bit just to help them get through what they need to. Mm-hmm. We always looking for somebody to do that for us.
Yeah.
Exercise.
They want to exercise.
Anyway.
So this will be our last one for the day, and they'll cut the grass. So
You gonna go outside?
yeah, we can go outside
Well.
and let them exercise.
And then they gonna get out there and act like their legs don't move. Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Well, they can go on the back porch then.
That's fine. I feel like, I think, as a people, we should treat each other better. And just human nature, period. And if you can't find it in your human nature to treat somebody right, then you're going to have a fucked up ass life. I'm a firm believer in what you put out is what you get. And I also have learned that you can't necessarily come to a lot of people's aid, because a lot of people be causing that shit upon themselves. And come to you thinking, oh, I need you to help me. But they don't really want help. They just want you to do the shit, do something for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that puts you in a compromising ass position because it's like, what am I getting into? But nobody will be honest about the shit that they've done. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just a matter of know who you dealing with. Because like I said earlier, the first sign of deception, that shit will continuously happen until you do not allow it to happen.
That's true.
And I think people need to quit being so quick to forgive, because people, I think a lot of people count on the Bible aspect, turn the other cheek, or forgive this, and it's something else. It's an outside source making this person be fucked up towards you. I don't think that's that. I had that conversation with my grandmama, and she was like, well, it's the evil spirits or the devil or something. And I'm just like, I just do not believe that, because I have a choice to be a bad mom or a good mom. I have a choice to be a good wife or a bad wife. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people have choices to be a good fucking human or not. And for somebody not my color to tell me, well, what about blue lives?
Right.
That let me know that they like, nah, motherfucker, we gonna tend to this first, because your shit does not. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. And it's just from a logical standpoint. If I have to argue with somebody when they know the history, because regardless of them knowing their history and our history, they know that slaves were not slaves at first.
Mm-hmm.
Your great-great-grandpappy made them slaves. You get what I'm saying? So you have to know, and then to even know how fucked up it is today.
So what white people saying, I'll make you a slave again.
Exactly. Or go back to where you from, or you don't belong here. So you know something. You know that I don't belong here. So how the fuck I get here?
But how do you say I don't belong here when you are not indigenous to this land?
In your motherfucking self.
If you go back through the Caucasoid history, it said that y'all sailed from Europe over here. So that means you can go back to where you're from also.
Yes. And you can't have that conversation.
Oh, they don't want to hear that? They don't want to hear that?
But like I said, if
they be ready to fight then.
I think when somebody show you that it is not in their nature to treat somebody right, you have to actually accept that shit. You can't make somebody treat you right. Exactly. I don't give a fuck how long you wait. That shit will not come until they want it to come, or if that's something that they want to do. It's just a simple fucking reality. That's just it. But you gotta know how to not sit around and wait and hope. That's the problem. Hope
is dangerous.
I hope these people give us some money. I hope these people give us reparations. I hope they quit sending my cousins and shit, giving them 30 years for 2 rocks and shit. No.
This is like we had a relative that say that they hope that they get the stimulus. Why are you hoping on some shit that don't even belong to you? If they send the second one, then they do. If they don't, then they don't. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Get on your grind and try to do what you can do. Yeah. That's all it boiled down to.
Yeah.
And I'm so sick and tired of seeing this vote and I voted stickers. Man, you don't even know why you voted. You don't even know why you're voting for the motherfucker you're voting for. You just voting because it's what they promoting to do. That's what these celebrities and TV shows and newscasters and all these people that's in a position to broadcast to you, telling you to vote, and they telling you to vote Democrat, and you don't even know it.
Mm-hmm. It's a dangerous thing that we can be led to bullshit, and we see that you see the long line of being led to the bullshit. Your hair stand up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you turn around now? No, because it might be good over here. Mm-hmm. But these the same motherfuckers that it's never been good wherever they go for your kind. So I think you should turn around, or I think you should
turn around.
Yeah, I think you should veer off to the left. You know what I'm saying? It's like well, if I don't do it, then I'm a miss something great down there. And it's like, no, because if a person can show you year after year after year after year that they are fucked up and are willing to be fucked up, they can never consider you as a human, to where they'll keep perpetuating this fucked upness to your kind, no matter who the fuck, what the name is, what the age, anything. How you hope that it's gonna get better? It won't. It won't. The point where your motherfucking family don't look at you as they self, which means they can treat you just like they treat you.
That's a mouthful, you know, and I completely agree with it. You know, I'm a sign off like this, you know, because this is the part 3 of the podcast, you know, and kids want to go on the back porch, and I'm finna go on the back porch with the kids and do some other things around the house. So I'm gonna sign off like this. The most dangerous thing that they gave us as black people was hope. Because we hope that the world changed to better fit our situation. We hope that the treatment of the embetterment of our people change for us. We hope that people just do the human thing, which is treat us like human beings. But as long as we keep hoping, like you said, we'll never yield any results, because hope is just what it is. It's not something that could be done. It's not guaranteed. It's not even a verbal contract or an agreement. It's something that throw it out there to keep you to keep, not necessarily keep you in line, but to keep you supporting who need the support. So at this point, that's why I chose not to vote, not to support any candidate, because they don't have nothing for the black agenda. So to all of the black people who trying to prove me different or say differently, you a lie. Because all you got to do is go back and check the history. You willing to check Donald Trump history and say, oh, he fucked up. And I'm like, okay, and your point is?
Because they all lie.
So is Biden. So is Harris. But you're not willing to go check their stuff, because that's who, they was the ones who put out these ads that told you to vote for them.
Have you ever noticed that people come full-fledged FBI agent when they start talking to somebody, or somebody they talk to somebody, or they trying to be in somebody's business? They investigate the fuck out of somebody, but you tell them Kamala Harris did such and such and such and such and such, and Biden did the crime bill, and I don't know nothing about that. Use that same motherfucker you went and stalked somebody's Facebook page and Instagram page to that.
I agree. But I was signing off, so anything else you got to say, you know, I'm kind of done with it, because it's no talking to people that don't want to learn or listen. So the information out here, we having podcasts, sharing information, telling people to go research whatever it is, whether if it's politics, science, or, you know, situations with people like Ice Cube. And I support Ice Cube. I don't care, you know, how anybody feel, or unless he show me differently. Now, if he show me differently, then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna have to, like they say, redact the situation and say, okay, well, I did support him, but I don't now. But far as from my understanding, with Black America and the contract for Black America, I support it. I think he's doing a good thing and a positive thing, and I don't think it's gonna get to a point where it be some form of manipulation or some form of self-gain or self-entitlement that he looking for. So, how you want to end yours?
I think even with the Ice Cube thing, I think it can't be no worse than what it's been. Even if it's some kind of self thing, you know what I'm saying? Which I highly doubt that he ain't gotta come to us and be like, I'm fighting for your rights, and he actually coming out with stuff he actually going to talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? I support it. I totally support it unless I smell bullshit, and therefore I turn to the next direction. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I'm gonna say, this is one more thing I gotta say. I'd be damned if I let a motherfucker outside of black people try to tell me to counsel somebody black. That's never gonna happen with me. Because what is your agenda in this mix?
Exactly.
Because you're not black, so why is you even speaking on the matter with making decisions on what happened with situations with black people? We sit here and allow these motherfuckers to do that. The Como, ain't nowhere in the world he should have had made that broadcast on the news station talking about Ice Cube, is a sellout because he made a song called Fuck the Police. First of all, he did not become a police. So he didn't sell out. He ain't snitching and working with the feds to lock people up, so he's not a sellout. But that's the rhetoric that they'll push to make you do something that's supposed to embetter you as a people.
Yep.
And black people like, yeah, he right. He's not fucking right. But if you feel that way, you just as lost as the next motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, long story short, don't let other races determine what we do amongst ourselves when we trying to embetter our whole race, not our community, not just our community, not just our children, not just our music, it's everything. So be smart, black people. Wake up, get wise, get an understanding, research, read, do whatever you need to do to embetter yourself to where you can understand what's truly going on with the communism, which is slick, that you ain't paid attention to, which the slick they trying to usher in feminism and fascism. They got all these isms you got to pay attention to. You done, baby?
Yeah.
All right, so we signing off. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Don't forget, get that merch, Thurman Viking, Facebook, Thurman Viking, Instagram, Thurman Herbal, Facebook, Thurman Herbal, Instagram. And we will talk on the next one. Look forward to the next podcast.